And welcome back to Let's Talk. Now, my next guest is no stranger to Viva TV. I've interviewed him before. He's published now, I think it's 6 novels. Please welcome to the sofa, Michael Parker. Is it 6 novels?
7.
7. Mm-hmm. And this is the 7th in front of us.
A Covert War.
A Covert War, yeah. You must be a millionaire by now. 7 published novels.
I would say not quite. It takes a long while to... I need this kind of publicity, you know, but I need it worldwide. Yeah.
How far off are you from being wealthy?
From being wealthy? I'd have to check the receipts from the dress shops to find out, you know. No.
You can ask me, I'm being cheeky, I know, but people have a perception of people that have a novel published, that you're going to rake in a lot of money.
I'll give you a good example, right? I came across this statistic just this morning before I came here. It's in the Inland magazine, if everyone wants to look it up. It was announced last year at a book exhibition in Yorkshire, I think it was. 80% of the books published last year sold less than 500 copies. Less than 500. Copies. Now, if you take £1 a copy, or even £2 a copy, let's be generous, huh? Yeah. That's £1,000 a year on average. That gives you a good example of what 80% of us writers are earning a year.
Gee whiz.
So don't give up the day job.
No. Why do you do it? I'm sure I've asked you this before. Why do you do it?
It's anybody who saw this interview with you last year will remember me saying it's what I call a sweet curse. Yeah. It's what I call my blog, the sweet curse. It's just something inside you that you want to do. You know, even now, while I'm finishing my next manuscript, I'm now working on the one that's coming along afterwards. Even though I've promised myself to have a break, I just can't help it. It just, it keeps on going on in there.
A bit like a drug.
Yeah, I suppose so. But the difference, of course, is that this drug I enjoy taking. You know.
Yeah. Now, since we last met, lots been happening. Apart from the book, what else?
Well, last year I was invited by a guy in Guernsey who wanted to bring together authors from around the world to write a novel. Right. It was the kind of thing, let's see if we can do it. So I signed up to this project. It was to write a book about the climate change, about global warming, eco-terrorism, etc., etc., etc. And initially 25 authors signed up, or 25 people signed up who were involved in writing one way or another. And we ended up with about 11 of us. People left for different reasons. One bloke had a serious heart attack and had to give up. Some people had to go off and fight cancer. Just a typical cross-section of people. Yeah. And we worked on a book called Passage to Redemption. It took us, we had our own deadline. We had to finish by the end of last year. And we finished the book last year. If we'd have all been standing in the same room, we wouldn't have lasted.
So what did you do? All write one paragraph?
No. What happened was we split the group. There were 12 of us, including Peter, who organised it. So there's 11 authors and Peter. We split us up into 3 groups. And they said, right, this group will deal with that part of the book. This group will deal with the middle, and that group will deal with the end. You see. So I was tasked with opening the book, and it opened up in 1820. A gun battle at sea. Now, I've never written a gun battle at sea, but if you're a writer, you should be able to write about it's a bit like at school when the teacher says, I want you to write a composition on this or that, you should be able to do it. You may not be able to do it well, but you should be able to do it. A writer should be able to write about anything, really. So anyway, I was tasked with opening up the book with a gun battle at sea and introducing one of the characters. We got to the end of the novel, and there was this huge row about how we were going to finish it. Somebody wanted to finish it this way, somebody wanted to finish it that way. So in the end, what Peter did, say Peter, he's the coordinator, he said, look, all write your own ending and we'll take a vote. Yeah. Okay? So we all wrote our own ending. I won't tell you who came first, all right? But my ending got there in the end anyway. So that's the ending of the book, you see. We're hoping to have this book out this year, but it will not be with a mainstream publisher. Right. It's not the kind of thing a mainstream publisher would take on.
It just crosses my mind, why get involved in a project like this? What are you getting out of it?
I don't know really. I suppose I saw the advert on the web. I was intrigued by it. I looked into it, and I don't know what it was. There was something about the way this guy, in fact this guy's quite a wealthy businessman. He's written a book himself, which I've read. It was published by Libros in Spain, the Libros International. And I thought, this guy knows what he's doing, see? And if this guy's behind this book, then there's another way of raising my profile, as it were.
Yeah.
And I think in the end, this is what it's all about. How else can you get your name out into the public domain? So if they see you with different irons and different fires, then they might come to accept that you are basically what you claim to be, a writer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. A lot of people start in the same way. You know, script writers start writing one-liners, for example. Someone spots it, and then who knows? You're writing an episode of EastEnders. You know.
Yeah, don't ask me to write an episode of EastEnders. I wouldn't know.
Would you like to do that?
I haven't watched. The last time I saw Coronation Street, they were still using the snug. You know, mini Corwell and that. Yeah, I haven't seen it since.
Now, could you turn your hand to writing for television or another medium?
One of the problems with writing for television, in fact, I was discussing this morning with another author friend of mine, Nick Moulton. If you write a script, right? Now, let us assume I'm writing this scenario now. I say, right, we're sitting on the settee, the colour was whatever colour you would call it, bourbon, and the table, the book, etc., etc., etc.
Simon takes a sip of his coffee.
Yeah, but I would have to say the cup is at hand, right? And then I would write the dialogue between you and I. So if the film director wants you to pick that cup up, you'll pick it up. I can't say where that is. So the film script has got to be basically dialogue with an indication of what props are there.
That's right.
Whereas as a writer, I've got to describe everything: the flowers, the colour, the settee, the carpet. You know, how fit and well you're looking, Simon.
Well, thank you very much. There's no problem there. You know, it's just another way of writing.
I think I'd get bored with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would. You see,
there's more money. More money in writing
only
TV
if you
scripts.
can get in with those who are in the right place. You know, it's this networking business, isn't it?
Yeah, it's who you know.
You've got to. One of my sons went on a script writing course when he left the Air Force down in London, and the instructor said, ask the person sitting beside you their name and address. See? So it's the reason for this is because one day you might want a contact.
Yeah.
He said, and just to let you know that a year before this class, Guy Ritchie was sat there at that desk. Oh. Now, of course, Guy Ritchie went on to marry Madonna. He's making films. So this is about having contacts in the business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the only trouble with me is I haven't got any contacts in the publishing business. And in the end, really, you can only be as good as the material you're providing, can't you? If you knew somebody who was in the television business or in the film business or in the publishing business, and you said, look, this is my work, what do you think?
Yeah.
Hand on heart, if that's not sellable,
no, it's not going to do you any good.
They're not going to do it, are they?
Talking of things that are sellable, your very latest novel, Michael Parker, A Covert War. What's it like when your novel arrives? Do you sort of touch it and flick through it?
And read it.
And read it again?
Oh yeah.
Really?
And I spoke to one author once and he said, I couldn't stand it. I could not stand reading it. But I'm like a kid with a new toy. When that cardboard box arrives through the post and I open it and there's all my brand new books and I take it out and then I go and sit and read it. You know, this is me, this is my creation.
It's no different to me, I suppose. You know, I download my interviews onto my iPod and I'll be watching my interview on the iPod. It's the same. It's a bit of vanity, isn't it, I suppose? Come on, admit it.
I think pride is probably a better word than vanity, really.
I'm sure there is a bit of vanity there. You're going to disagree, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
All right, no, that's fair enough. Pride. But it is a covert war. Very briefly, what's the story about?
It's about a young woman, Susan Ellis, whose twin brother disappeared in Afghanistan. And one day, a fellow called himself Charles Cavendish of the Foreign Office brings her a notepaper, and on it is her brother has written what had happened and why he disappeared. He was subject to a terrorist attack. So Susan decides she wants to find her brother because she thought he was dead. But she's just an ordinary girl. She hasn't got no wealth and nothing like that. So she goes looking for an agency that will help her. Now, we've all heard of Blackwater Agency, haven't we? You know, they're the professionals who employ the SAS. Well, because she can't employ people like this to take her out to Afghanistan to find her brother, so she finds a guy who's Marcus Blake. And Marcus Blake runs a very ordinary, down-run security agency called Guard Right Security. And I deliberately gave it that awful title because Marcus Blake he's a financially independent, son of a diplomat, and as his father says, it's about time you got a proper job instead of running an office for Z-list clients, you see. Anyway, Susan Ellis goes into his office one day. It's a rundown place in the city of London, and he's fascinated by her. He can't do the job she wants him to do. She wants him to go to Afghanistan. No. So in the end, she thanks him very much and she leaves. But he's so fascinated. But she'd said something to him that it unsettled him. It was something to do with diplomacy, diplomat, foreign office. And because he's the son of a diplomat, he knows something about diplomacy and the workings. So he follows Susan, finds out where she lives. And then he goes off to find this mysterious Giles Cavendish. And he starts stepping into something that is bigger than he ever imagined. He steps into the world of arms smuggling, drug smuggling, children smuggling, and it's all run by the CIA.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's given us a taster. People will have to go out and buy it to read the full book.
Go out and buy 2 copies each.
And how did you find out about Afghanistan? You obviously haven't been there.
No, I haven't been there. No.
So
I just used the web.
Research.
Yeah, I did used the web, which is a great tool, as you probably appreciate. I wanted to find out about how they make opium, how they make drugs, and I went on the web for that.
I'll tell you what, anyone searching your computer on Google, what you must be searching for on the web would be a little bit suspicious. You've got drugs, child smuggling and all that.
Yeah, and I think about this myself when you read about celebrities who've been done for this sort of thing, and they say, I was doing it for research purposes, you see, and yeah, I know there's lots of things on my computer, but often my wife is standing on my shoulder when I'm doing it, so she'd be a good backup witness for me, wouldn't she?
Would. Michael, I'm sure it's going to be another successful year. You'll have to come back and tell us about what you've been doing again here on the sofa.
To,
Yep, brilliant. Michael Parker, thank you. Oh, by the way, we're giving away a copy of your book here on Viva TV. Do you want to set a question very quickly?
Yeah, simple question. How many novels have I published?
How many novels has Michael Parker
and they can find
published?
it on my website if they've forgotten.
All right.
michaeljparker.com.
michaeljparker.com. Michael, thank you. I'll be back very soon with another edition of Let's Talk. If you'd like to be on the sofa, though, if you'd like to join us and share your story with the Costa Blanca, then all you have to do is email me here at the studio. info@vivatv.es. That's it. I'll see you very soon with some more Let's Talk.